Hey guys, welcome to the clubhouse. I'm Billy Jackson, and today's review is going to be on Avatar: The Way of Water. Okay, now the first Avatar I believe is a masterpiece. I mean, chef's kiss to that movie because it is awesome. And I knew James Cameron was doing multiple sequels to this and making it a franchise, but I didn't realize it was going to be 12 years later that we were going to get a sequel. Now, was it worth the wait? Yes! This movie was incredible. I loved it. It was awesome. Now, I have a couple of nitpicks, but they're just nitpicks. But overall, the story, the way the story is told, and just all the new technology that James Cameron came up with to film this underwater was exquisite. Now, that being said, I'm not a big fan of 3D. The last 3D movie I saw was the original Avatar 12 years ago. And the only reason I watched this one in 3D is because that one was made for 3D. This one was made for 3D. So I felt like I needed to watch it in 3D just because it was made for it. But I'm going to tell you, that's one of my nitpicks about the movie. Is yes, the 3D was awesome. And I felt like I was there in the world, especially when they went underwater. I felt like I was part of the environment. I felt like I was swimming in the ocean with these characters. And that's the great thing about the way they made this movie. And I'm going to tell you, even though I don't like 3D, I'm going to suggest that you go and see it in 3D because you just feel like you're there. You know, it doesn't feel like you're watching a movie. It just feels like you're in the movie itself as a character. And I thought that was masterfully done. That being said, I believe that I'm going to enjoy it more the second time I watch it, not in 3D. That's because I'm going to be able to focus on what's going on, other than focusing on all the fish and the tree limbs that are all in your face and the characters walking by right in your face and stuff like that. I'm actually going to be able to pay attention to the story more. I felt like I was distracted a lot by the 3D. I feel like I'm going to love it more the second time I watch it. So that's my one nitpick about the 3D. Go see it in 3D, but I think you're going to enjoy it more the second time you watch it. My other little nitpick is that it's way too long. It's 3 hours long, and it's not a bad 3 hours. The pacing of this movie was great. I mean, nonstop action from the beginning of the movie to the end of the movie. But when it got around the 2.5 hour mark, you start to feel the weight of it, and you start asking yourself, well, why'd they do this and why'd they do that when they could have just cut a little bit here, cut a little bit there, cut this movie down about 15, 20, maybe even 30 minutes and tighten it up a little bit more. I don't like that movies are doing this now where they're going 3+ hours to try to tell a story when you could tell a story in really 2.5 hours and it just be fine. But anyway, it's a 3 hour movie, but I felt the weight of it, but I wasn't bored at any moment. I didn't feel myself falling asleep or anything like that. I mean, I was engaged. I mean, I actually had to use the bathroom like an hour into this thing, but I did not get up because I was afraid that I got up for 5 minutes and came back, I was going to miss something major because major things are going on in this movie. And that's another great thing about this film is the writing, the story. It's not really about Jake and Neytiri anymore. I mean, it is, but it's about their family, and their kids. This movie is mainly about Jake and Neytiri's kids and the trials and tribulations that they go through, getting in trouble and what could happen to them if they get in trouble and they keep getting in trouble. It seemed like not really learning any lessons, but until the end, they start to learn some real serious lessons. But I thought the dynamic and the chemistry between all these characters was brilliant and very well written and very well directed. The plot of the movie I thought was great. You got the humans coming back to Pandora. Jake and his tribe, he's like the leader of their tribe now, and he's got them in hiding in these caves. But the humans come back, they're trying to hunt him down, and so they can get rid of the indigenous population so they can actually colonize Pandora because they're going to move, Earthlings are going to move from Earth to Pandora. That is the ultimate goal for the humans in this movie. But they really want to get rid of Jake because he's the leader of a rebellion that can stop them from doing that. And in order to keep his tribe safe, he relocates his family to another tribe way off from where they were living before onto these islands, where now they find another tribe, well, actually multiple tribes that live, and bond with the ocean, where the first Na'vi that we see in the first film, they're more of a forest people. Now they're going to the water people, and they accept them into their tribe, but they got to learn the ways of the water. And to do that, they bond with the creatures of the sea, and I just thought it was all great, And I loved how they have a different kind of Na'vi in this film, and the way they created them, I thought was brilliant as well. They're not blue skin, they're green skin. They have fins on their arms, they have fins on their tails that help them maneuver in the ocean. And I thought that was very creative and very well done. And I loved how they interacted with, coming from a forest tribe into a water tribe. And for them to, be a part of their tribe, they had to learn the ways of the water. And they do learn it, and they learn it pretty quick and pretty well, but that's okay. Anyway, loved this movie. I think everybody's going to love it. My suggestion is going to be to go see it in 3D, but you're going to probably need to see it a second time not in 3D, because you're going to be distracted by everything else that's going on in the world and the environments other than the story, because at least that's what happened to me. I felt very distracted by other stuff going on, but I was still engaged with the characters and the story, to where I didn't lose any like for this movie, because it was great. And I would rush out to the theater and see it. Go see it in 3D, because you're going to get an immersive experience. And I think that's important for movies, to be able to pull you into them like this did. Well, that's what I think, guys. I loved it, and I think you will. But it's not all about what I think. What do you think? Have you seen Avatar? Do you plan on going to see it? Let me know in the comments below. Remember to like my videos and subscribe to my channel. And as always, make yourself happy every day. And the only way to do that is to remember the only thing stopping you is you stopping. Bam!